and a great atmosphere on this set, and I think we always could feel like we were making something really special and, you know, really different, and that is, it's so exciting to be involved, and so much easier to work hard at that kind of thing when you know that really you're making something like what you just saw. I mean, it's incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, that trailer was ridiculously amazing. I'm hoping we get to see it again before the panel's over.
Well said.
But aside from all the visuals and, you know, everything about it, the soundtrack really stood out to me, and I'm wondering if the soundtrack for the film is going to be that more modern electric sound or more of the old classic, you know, music.
You know, it's kind of a mix. You know, we
Blue Danube's in it, isn't it?
What's that?
Is the Blue Danube in somewhere?
Yeah, that was the Nine Inch Nails track. But, you know, the idea, I think, you know, overall for the soundtrack is to try and do a little bit of both, you know. I don't want it to be like freaking too rock and roll-y, but at the same time, it rocks, so it's hard.
Well, the thing that I noticed in seeing an early cut of the movie was that everything about this movie feels very timeless but contemporary. The fight scenes, as you saw, with the very, very clever exact pace of changing the camera speed, so that the Spartans actually move like superhumans when they swing their swords. And
We were superhumans.
He thinks he's really smart. Mr. McCain. I'm just saying that overall I was mostly struck by the fact that this feels like a very contemporary movie. It's very exciting. And it does not feel like some stiff old relic. Zach did a terrific job.
Woo!
This question is for Mr. Snyder, and with big blockbuster films kind of reaching a point of critical mass, I mean, the technology is so incredible, and, you know, I mean, every you know, big movie coming out during the summer seems to be wanting to, you know, one-up each other. And, you know, as an artist, you know, how do you find ways to inject something new and surprise your audience? And, I mean, you know, it's something that must really plague you from day to day on the set if you're going to be able to compete with the Batmans and the Spider-Mans and, you know, everything else is being thrown in the mix. And obviously you seem to have done that, but it must have been a really challenging process.
You know, I try not to think about it too much. You know, first of all, you know, because we started with Frank's book, it was like different already. We weren't trying to make Superman or Batman or Fantastic Four or something like that. We were really just trying to go, you know what? What's cool? Like what's you know, it's an R-rated movie. It's not like cute. It's like art. So, you know, that part. I think that on a day-to-day basis, really, what we were trying to do is just go like, is this just, you know, A, telling the story, and B, is it rough action? Is it cool? I mean, is it hard? Because that's kind of, you know, what Frank put down, and we wanted to get it out. So, you know.
But as audience, I'd like to comment that I'm really damn sick of being reassured by every picture I look at. I mean, how many times is Harry Potter going to get cheered by his classroom? You know, I like some stories that were more challenging out there. And so I find what Zach's puts together very refreshing.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing? This is for Zack Snyder. I want to know how being a martial artist and training with the choreographer helped you as a director on set, in rehearsals, and where the line was drawn between you and the choreographer for final say of the action?
He kept these guys in line, didn't he?
Well, Damon and Chad, who did the fight choreography for the movie, they're guys I've known for a while, and they could seriously hurt me, like really badly, in ways that I can't even imagine. So, but they're really respectful and they're really cool. So if I felt like, look, I really need something here, like a different move in a certain spot, they weren't like, they didn't laugh at me when I'd say like, oh, what about this? They go, yeah, well, okay, great. Just fuck that whole fight up, thanks. But, that didn't happen too often. I thought it's a dance, and trying to figure out it's a fine line between what makes sense and then what looks cool, and a lot of time something that looks cool doesn't necessarily make total sense, and sometimes things that make sense don't look cool, and that's exactly right, who cares? Because as long as it looks cool, that's really what it's about. And those guys know that, and they're really good at it.
Thanks.
Frank, Mr. Miller, God. I just wanted to tell you before I ask my question that you're responsible for my favorite comic of all time, Batman Year One. And, yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to thank you for making that. And my question, it's a comic book related one, just a little change of pace. Out of all that, oh come on, it's the Comic Con. Comic Con? All right. Anyway, is there like one title or like one superhero that you haven't done that you'd like to do work on?
Oh, at least a dozen. They're so full of possibilities. A number of the Marvel characters are real appealing. In my Batman stuff, as you've seen and will see, I bring in a lot of the DC Comics pantheon. So I get around to them when I get around to them, but mostly I like to do my own stuff.
Thank you.
Hi, this question is for Gerard. Well, Scott, I was just wondering if you're using your Scottish brogue or you're going to do your Long Beach, California. which accent? And that goes for David too, I guess. He's Australian. Do you generic language, the dialogue?
Well, hello there. It was, you should ask Zach. I think it was supposed to be generic, but it turns out pretty Scottish. No, we discussed this and we're quite happy not to have that typical English accent that, to be honest, I don't feel lends itself to violence or to, let's go and kill these men. Let's go and kill these men, like something like that. So I think that I tried to get away from my normal unintelligible brogue and bring it, more towards English. But there's definitely I don't even understand myself. And bring it pretty much towards English. And I'll answer for David. His came out as South African. No, I'm joking.
No, Jerry obviously plays the king in the film, so we all follow him. He has a Scottish accent, so the whole film's in a Scottish accent. What I had to do is basically...
Braveheart, the prequel.
No, basically, look, what I had to do, I obviously had to neutralize my Australian accent, so it's what one would technically call an RP accent, which is a neutral English accent.
Okay, I'll look forward to little bits of Scottish.
Oh, you'll get them.
Okay, no jokes about little bits of Scottish.
Try and do a Long Beach in my next one, okay?
Hi, my question's for Jerry. I was wondering, I like to become an actor myself, and I was wondering what got you into acting?